Donald Trump tears into New York Attorney General Letitia James for her corrupt criminal investigation, and super-duper smart people finally figure out through years of rigorous scientific testing that girls and boys are different. Hello, I'm Mike Huckabee with the breakdown. Well, as you may have heard, Attorney General of New York State, Letitia James, has announced that she's opening a criminal investigation of Donald Trump's business dealings. Like the Manhattan DA's Trump probe, this is an investigation in search of a crime, motivated purely by Trump hate and a desire to get him. That's after years of investigations that have turned up nothing. Donald Trump has now responded, and it blows the lid off of what they're trying to do. Here's what he said, I quote, "I've just learned through leaks in the mainstream media that after being under investigation for the time that I came down the escalator 5.5 years ago, including the fake Russia hoax," I could just hear his voice when I read that the 2-year, $48 million no collusion Mueller witch hunt, impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, and others, that the Democrat New York Attorney General has informed my organization that their investigation is no longer just a civil matter, but also potentially a criminal investigation working with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. There is nothing more corrupt than an investigation that is in desperate search of a crime. But make no mistake, that's exactly what's happening here. End quote. Long sentence, wasn't it? Typical Donald Trump. Well, he goes on to point out that the New York Attorney General literally campaigned on the promise that she would prosecute Donald Trump, to use her office to look into every aspect of Trump's real estate dealings. And she even said that she'd collaborate with other state AGs to get Donald Trump. All of this before she could possibly have known that there was anything that she could get Trump on, because she wasn't Attorney General yet. Former President Trump is right. Investigating someone in search of a crime is thoroughly corrupt, and Attorney General James got elected on the very promise of that. That sure doesn't say anything good about those who elected her. Leading the fishing investigation into Trump under AG James is also Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance. Now, you may remember his name from the breakdown last week. He's trying to find anything, and I mean anything, to charge Donald Trump and his company with. But there are a few reasons why Vance is far more deserving of an investigation than Trump ever would be, like the fact that he protected Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein and spent $250,000 in asset forfeiture funds on fine dining and luxury travel for himself. I mean, you can't depend on Democrats for much, but hypocrisy is definitely something you can count on from them. And speaking of leftist hypocrisy, the NCAA threatened to remove championships from states that protected girls from having to compete with trans males who identify as girls but who are biologically boys. Many of those states and their leaders simply told the NCAA just to go pound sand. They started talking about forming a new collegiate athletic association that puts sports ahead of enforcing the insane leftist dogma. And guess what happened? The NCAA backed down. Alabama, Arkansas, and Tennessee are going to be hosting girls' softball tournaments as planned. Incidentally, it occurred to me recently that the trans males are biologically the same as girls argument isn't the first time Democrats have adopted school sports policies that flew in the face of biological reality. Remember way back when they cared about women's rights and there was a big feminist girl power move to force schools to allow girls to play on boys' sports teams? You know, we don't hear much about that anymore. Maybe because it soon became obvious that it's a bad idea to let girls be crushed under a pile of football players who are all 3 times their size. But in case there is any doubt, a recent University of Glasgow study of 3 years' worth of injury data involving about 40,000 teenage female soccer players in Michigan found that, and brace yourself for this, girls and boys are different. That's right. The study found that girls are nearly twice as likely to suffer concussions as male players. While male players are more likely to be injured from colliding with another player, maybe because of more aggressive play, girls are most often injured from contact with equipment, such as the goal or the ball. They're also more likely to suffer concussions just from butting the ball with their heads. The professor who authored the study said that the mechanism of injury appears different between boys and girls, and that raises the question of whether sports should consider sex-specific approaches to both participation and concussion management. Gee, you think? Now imagine really defying biological reality by putting girls who are more prone to concussions into the same game with biological males who are twice their size and violently colliding with other players. That sounds like a harebrained recipe for disaster. It's also the current administration's official policy. If Joe Biden can't bring unity to the country through insanity, looks like he'll try to do it through traumatic brain injury. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll comment and subscribe to the channel below and click the notification bell for more videos. And be sure to check us out on Rumble. If you want more of my news analysis and commentary, sign up for my newsletter at MikeHuckabee.com. It's completely free. And if you're in the mood for some great entertainment, check out our second channel. It's called Huckabee's Jukebox. You'll enjoy it, I'm sure. Well, that's it for this edition of The Breakdown. I'm Mike Huckabee.